Hi, I'm Cyclon, and today I want to share with you a method to make blighted farming in Valdo's Rest even more profitable and even more insane, assuming you have a average or above average luck when it comes to getting items dropped. So in my previous video in the how to make profit series, I did a guide for Valdo's Rest blighted farming. And in the comments, a buddy told me, hey, there might be an even better thing. And I tested it out and I confirmed it is quite insane. It betters the overall drops, and the second thing I figured out in that time frame is that doubles the average blighted map drop that you are able to get. Now let's take a look at the first thing I noticed, which is the Mitogenic Watchstone. The Mitogenic is a roll on a T1 from 3.6 to 5 to double duplicated blighted chests in areas. So with 4 of these you have a total of up to 20, and with the Secret of Stones you can get 25%. So that's a total of 25% chance to upgrade. Now, careful, flashbang warning. I made a spreadsheet, I guess, where I collected a lot of information about this, and I ran 50 maps in a bit of different experiments to see what is the best thing to do. So first, before I go further into detail, and before I go into the second thing and why it's so good, I want to explain some base rules Blight follows. Each map will have a Blight reward. So, not each map. Each Blight encounter will have a Blighted Oil or map reward. It got added in the 3.9. When Blight had the 10% treatment, it just means that when you have run a Blight, at least one lane will have oils or map reward. Next thing is that on a T14 map, your likelihood to gain 4 to 8 lanes is higher than gaining less. And you start to have a chance to gain 6 to 8. Before that, as far as I know, you cannot gain more than 5 lanes. Next, I guess, is that the maximum reward is 8. At least without Mitogenic Watchstones. So you can have at most 8 rewards or total. Not per lane, but total. I think there is... No, the only way you can get above that is with blighted maps. Next thing, which I'm going to explain further once I get to the Scarabs, is that a 50% chance to add an additional reward highly increases your chance to get blighted maps. Lastly, there is blight encounters are actually not affected by map quantity. And there is a last tiny rule, I guess, that is if you first run, if you use Mitogenic Watchstones and the doubling is getting applied, and you also have the Ascendancy in Valdo's Rest, which says have a 35% chance for an additional reward. It first doubles, then adds that, because I confirmed that because I had one with 50. It's literally impossible if it would be the other way around to get this specific outcome. Now, if you will scroll down here, you will notice that I only had one wave that was actually 15 rewards. While that is true, in a bit of further tests I did that I didn't actually calculate it as precise as here, I had 5 more above 10 rewards, 114, I think 215, 116, and 213 or 12s, I don't remember those two. I had a total like 5 of those as well in like 21s, but they are not that common. But Mitogenics are still good, because the next thing we want to watch, a core will have 1 to 2 lanes most of the time. Not always, there are cases where it wasn't the case, but most of the time it has 1 to 2 lanes. Next thing is that with these 1 to 2 lanes and with the Ascendancy, we already have that 2 chests are lucky. Now, as far as I know, these chests actually mean chest clusters. So lucky means that it's taking the better out of the 2. So you have a total of 100% more chance to get blighted maps, 35 chance for an additional chest, 2 lanes are lucky, not including the one that is always blighted oils. We most of the time have 1 to 2 lanes, so the exotic, which means the additional chance to gain blighted oils or map rewards, is not good if we run the core map. Because, as far as I've noticed, but this is not a confirmed information, when you have 2 lanes, one will be oils, the other cannot be oils. If you have 3, the third one can be oils again, but if you have 2 lanes, one will be oils, one won't be oils. That is at least as far as I've seen and tested. Now, all those informations, here's quickly with the Mitogenic, the calculation again, here's what I had. You can actually calculate these fields if you do use that. These are calculated based on that, and the double is calculated with the sum. Here you can change those. I will link this spreadsheet in the comments as well, some others that are in this package too. And the light blue fields, if you make a copy, can be edited so you can estimate or make your own calculations based on what I discovered. Now, lastly, there are a few things I noticed which I want to quickly go over. It's very common to get 1 or 2 lanes. Of course, there are some bad sprees I had, there were some good sprees I had, and most of the time, or above average, I had 7, 6, or 8 rewards. I had a few times where I had more, but even if I wasn't able to get that, I had many times where I had 4 to 5, which I actually achieved because I doubled the rewards, because I had like a 3 split with 2, 2, 3. And the 3-1 got to 4 because of this one, or the 2-1 doubled to 4 because of my Mitogenic Watchstones. So I think Mitogenic is definitely the way to go if you run core blighted maps. And the other thing that I noticed is this first 10 I ran Rusted. Now Rusted I had most of the time 1 to 2 blighted map drops. But then I ran 10 Gilded, and I noticed that most, like not average but slightly below average, I had 3 to 4 map drops, and the other times I had 1 to 2 map drops. So what I noticed is that it isn't boss because I also tested polished. It's actually the 50% chance for an additional reward has a heavy weighting towards dropping additional blighted maps when it procs. I tested another 30 maps with different variations, where I also tested if white maps or rare maps actually affected it. And with the first 10 I ran of these, I noticed that the odds to get blighted maps are actually the same, and the oils as well. Then I had a few unlucky runs, but overall it evened out. And the average drop seems to be between 1.5 and 2. But if you run more, it seems to get closer and closer towards 2 to 3 actually for average blighted map drops. I noticed splits here with 2-2, and yeah. The last thing, for example, I had here, out of 5 lanes, 1 was a blight reward, so I had 1 blight reward in single and got still 2 blighted maps. And that happened a few times where I had 1 to 2 rewards and still got several blighted maps out of it. So I really think that the Gilded Scarabs on top of running core with Mitogenic Watchstones definitely is the best variant you can run Blight with, at least as far as I've tested. I tested Exotic Watchstones, I tested Mitogenic Watchstones, I tested Rusted, Polished and Gilded Scarabs, and Gilded definitely was a thing, and I tested the only other map that had a really niche layout, which was Flooded Mines. But Flooded Mines makes more space than a core would do. A core really often just forces 1 to 2 lanes, while a Flooded Mines is often about 5 lanes. But lastly, in my first attempt I had about 1 in 10 to 1 in 20, no wait, 50, 1 in 10 to 1 in 15 or something. I had a golden oil. Sometimes I got lucky, sometimes I got less lucky. Of course, if you have very lucky and have many of these, your chance to gain more high level oils or high level blighted maps is definitely higher. Next thing is, if you want to just run this and ignore blighted maps, the oils that do sell are crimson and upwards. and sometimes you're able to get some Azure cells. So that is all that I can tell about that. So on my 51st run, I had a total cost of 6.58x and a total gain of 12.36x, which narrowed down to 5.7x, which is almost double. Now, as I mentioned, I got quite unlucky in my last runs of the 50 and made a total about here 17 chaos profit per map, and I was able to run about 12 maps a minute. I took 12 maps an hour. I took 5 minutes for a map, which averaged to a 200 chaos per hour, which is okay. It's not the best, but it's definitely good. And I wasn't running a really zooming mapping clear build. Also, I calculated the Exalt costed 146 chaos for those who are interested. Now, that is all there is to know about the spreadsheet. I can quickly show how I do this. I run the maps right because, like I said, the quantity does not affect the Blight encounter. I tested that thoroughly. And most of the time, I just run the map completely after all, for the single reason of getting Cyrus spawns. So I just quickly go in, I run the map. Sometimes I skip Scourge, sometimes I run it, depending how close the Blight is to the spawn. And for the Blight encounter itself, because it can be, especially on rares, can be a bit harder. I'm not going for damaging towers, but instead I'm going for empowering and seismic towers. Of course, if the lanes are seismic or physical immune, I opt for the frost towers instead. There's Cassia, so I'm quickly going to do her. Or we'll do the encounter. You can see 4, 2, 5. So this will total to 11. As we know, 8 is the natural maximum, so it literally cannot be 11. So what happened here? Let's assume that the 5 encounter was actually a 2 encounter. Then we would have a 4-2 split, which is a possibility. So what happened is the 5 got doubled to 4 and then added to 5. Now, what also could have happened is that the 4 and the 5 doubled. Oh,
I need more mana.
Don't want to fail this one. So it doesn't have to be that only one doubles. Each lane gets calculated separately if it doubles or not. Like I said, I run them wide. I use the physical towers. In this case, because of the split, I don't have the space for an empowering tower, so I instead just opt for a minion tower to help me with the upper 2 lanes to store them a bit more. The normal portal will spawn a boss, because that is literally a must with the Gilded Scarab. But it should be about over in a moment. And then I will just quickly loot and continue the map, but I will cut out for that. As I think I've already mentioned everything there is to know about the new and improved strategy. Quick summarization for those that just want a TLDR and skip to the end of this. The way to go is Mitogenic Watchstones tier 1 as close as possible to 5%, Secret of the Stones and Epidemiology, so Secret of the Stones is in the Uncharted realm. I only got 2 Blighted rewards here. Let's see if I still get a map. Still got a map. And also, I have not considered anything except oils and blighted map drops into the profit calculation. I had a lot of the stack decks dropped, I had a lot of currency dropped, bubblegum currency, even an Exalt once or twice, and nothing of that is calculated into the reward, so the reward that was on the screen, the 200 chaos per hour, is actually more if you would sell the rest too, but I like to keep bubblegum currency, so I didn't consider that. But now back to TLDR quickly. Mitogenic Watchstones as close to 5% as possible, Secret of the Stones, Epidemiology, run them wide, use Gilded Scarabs, and you should expect 1 to 2 on bad ones, on really bad dots. Sometimes happen still, but most of the time you will get either 1 or 2, or 3 to 4, and rarely you're going to get 5 to 9, which is on the really big ones or really lucky ones. That being said, I hope this was helpful. I hope with this you get the edge in the Blighted market. That will help you to get more currency per hour and will get you the currency that you need for your build or for your different build or different strategy you want to transition to. And lastly, as a final word, I recommend doing this either with a Toxic Rain Caustic Arrow setup or the Toxic Rain Slow, or using a minion build so you can control more lanes than one at the same point. Other builds I guess can do it too, but might need a bit more investment, and again, on a wide tier it's not that hard. That all being said, I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like or subscribe, or do both of course. All that being said, have a great day.